6:30 on March 8th, 2021. I will call to order the Type A Economic Development Corporation Board regular meeting. Thank you for attending. Looks like we've got 4 of us here. And somebody shout in. I'm not doing the whole reading B, the citizens forum thing all the time, so I'm just going straight.
And we have no one signed up for that, so.
I think I asked last time if I need to read that, it's all italicized. So, C, discuss, consider, and take action on the approval of minutes from January 11th, 2020. Does anybody have any comments or need time to look over any of that?
I didn't.
either.
Either.
All right. Somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes as
Thank you.
stated from January 11th, 2021.
I second the motion.
Show of hands. Unanimous. All right, item B, review the year-to-date financial statements as of February 28th, 2021. Did you have anything to comment on, or did you feel the
Yeah.
questions?
Well, the certain field questions, only one thing jumped out at me, that everything else is close to being unchanged. Under the expense summary on page 1, the Joshua Station development shows a $21,500 negative hit. What that is those were the engineering and planning consulting fees that were attributed to the pre-planning of Joshua Station of the development that's ongoing now with Starbucks and under that agreement. We're not real sure what to do with those yet. They've been billed out and paid by the city, but we don't want to. We're not sure if that's going to be funded out of part of that funding agreement, or if we're going to try to just offset that in-house, which I think is what we're going to do. So that number is going to stay there negative, probably until we may do mid or end of year amendments to clean everything up. But that's what that number is for, and it's kind of a big number, so I expect some other people notice it as well.
Mhm.
Everything else is pretty clear right now. You're on track to have an ending fund balance to begin the next fiscal year at $229,986, and you are currently within your budget.
All right. The only thing I kind of like to know is like how much, so this is through February 28th, how much of the reporting year, like what percentage of that? You know?
We're at 33% right now, just a little over 33%.
33% of the year.
I'll have her at. Yeah, I'll have her add where you currently are. We did that on some others. She must have just overlooked this one. But that's a pretty easy thing to do.
Because let's see. Yeah, because we had a good month as far as what we had budgeted versus our actual.
Yeah, we really have right now we're trending at about 7.5% over projected tax revenues. And that's, I mean, even going through the COVID and the snow, so to speak, those numbers have stayed pretty firm.
Okay.
All right, and the other questions I kind of had were going to be the next action items, the specific amounts that we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions over year-to-date financials?
I do not.
I do not.
Okay.
Mike, could you, I'm so sorry, I couldn't hear very well. What was that 1,000, you said, as shows as a deficit?
Those are funds that we were charged by the city engineer and the city planners going through the planning process that we're gonna clear up internally at the end of the year. We're not gonna run that through the retail connection and then pay their percentages and all that stuff.
Thank you.
What is that? You know, same. Nobody else does. I'm sure.
It's not karaoke night. All right, moving on to item E. Discuss, consider, and a possible action on the approval of paying the amount of $5,416 to replace the damaged bollard signs at the parking lot. I did not hear about this.
The bollards, we believe that they were taken down by, it looked like kids on skateboards jumping them. And trying to ride the board over the top of them. Some of them got fallen on and broken off. We've now since, the reason we're gonna fix them now is I've got cameras in place out there that are motion activated, little snapshots of folks. And we believe that our insurance will cover the majority of this. The adjuster was out here today. Well, he was supposed to be out here. He missed his first time, but said he was gonna be here at noon. And Vince was gonna show him around. And these bollard lights were one of those. We have a $1,000 deductible, but I think we're gonna meet that with some other, we're trying to tie this all in with the damage from the snow and the frost, and to try to do it all as one package or one claim. If they don't let us roll it in, then we'll have a $1,000 deductible and they would reimburse the rest. I also have changed the style of light. This is going to be a more recessed light. So the light fixture itself is not going to be where they can knock it off. It's going to be encased. So if they jump on it and hit it, the light's actually going to be sitting inside with a surround, and it'll have a cap on top of it. The previous ones didn't, so they were easily accessible. So these are gonna be a little bit different, and hopefully they'll, like I say, with the camera stuff out there, at least we might be able to get a picture of whoever's caused the problems. We've gotten some coyote photos and a few other things so far, but we were just waiting to get that stuff in place before we fix them. They've been broken for a couple of months.
The other question I was gonna ask, I guess, is Type A responsible for almost anything in that parking lot?
Type A owns the park and ride. They pretty much own Joshua Station for the most part, at least the parts of it that the city has. But yes, Type A owns the park and ride, and they own the Joshua Station Boulevard.
Okay.
And then Type B has the YMCA.
And then
Type B has what?
The YMCA.
And then if we would have ended up doing anything with the retention pond, making some kind of goalpost down there.
They would have that too. They would take over maintenance of that. They already are mowing it. And I expect I'm probably fixing to move that. Well, they're in public work, so they'll still do it, but they won't do it with finished mowers. We'll do it with the back.
Okay.
I'll save a little time.
All right, so we're on the hook for that. And then are we going to hold off on paying that until you find out about the insurance?
Probably not, because it typically takes a little while to get through that process, and most of the insurance guys or the electricians don't want to wait for that process. I'm pretty sure it will go through. I think it's just a matter of getting it done. We've just not pushed it because we were waiting on getting cameras situated.
Yes. Okay.
So this is the maximum amount, and potentially we could be refunded by any insurance.
Yeah, I think you'll probably get all of this back. Or if they don't let us combine, he wasn't sure how that was going to go. You would get it all but $1,000 back.
Okay. And we do have the cameras in place now, so hopefully any future, I mean, it's not going to prevent it, but
Yeah, we do have them in place now, and we've also, we're working with Y to get some cameras out there as well. And we're doing some stuff out here now too, so there's some activities that are going on in this parking lot, so people are there a little more.
All right, I don't have any further questions about that. That needs an action.
So I would move that we approve the payment for the replacement of the damaged lights at the park and ride.
I'll second that.
All right, show of hands. All right, that was all four of us. Thank you. Item F, discuss, consider, and possible action on approval of payment in the amount of $8,400. That's $1,200 a month for a lawn service at the parking ride in Joshua Station to Grassland Services LLC of Shop. I noticed that you did include two attachments here, paperwork. I didn't reference that when we were talking about the lights, but it has some background information on here. It says that was who it used to be.
Yeah, the Grassman used to maintain all of that. And Josh moved that out a year or two ago to, I think he wanted to have a couple of years to kind of restore the funding back into this fund while he worked on this new development issue. And it was, the parks guys have been taking care of it. But they've been struggling to do it as down-staffed as they've been. Public Works has been filling in and trying to help. They're covered up with street projects. We, quite frankly, they just don't have time to mow it. And spring is going to be coming on. And he's agreed to come in and do it for the same thing he was doing it for. And he mows it, he edges it, he weed eats, he pulls the weeds from around the trees, he keeps the mulch all around them, he makes sure the lights are still up and running. He really does quite a bit of stuff out there, and he fertilizes, and he just does it all turnkey. He does the YMCA, he also does Brookshire's.
Cars, yeah.
So he's always out there. And if there's ever an issue, it's a phone call away. He's local, and it just makes sense to put him back on and let him do it.
That was going to be one of my questions, if he was the same person taking care of the rest of it.
He is, yeah, he has all of it out there.
Now,
Mike, who is this individual?
Dana Deathridge,
His name is Dana Deathridge. He lives out in
Buffalo.
West Buffalo Creek, West Buffalo Trail.
Okay.
And he does quite a bit of stuff. His offices are out of here, and he rents a place over off of 174 behind the muffler shop where he keeps all of his equipment and stuff. He's a local guy.
Mhm. And what's the name of his company?
Lawn
Grassman.
grass.
Grassman.
Grassman?
Grassman, yeah. He did it from, well, when we originally built it, he's done that, he's done Brookshire's, and he's done the YMCA since it was there.
Mhm. Does he do any other businesses?
I know he does. I don't know exactly which ones around town. He's got several crews. I think he does a couple of banks in and around here, and I know he does some stuff in Burleson, but I don't know everything that he does.
He did mine for a little while.
He's done mine a few times if I was leaving town on vacation or something. I've known Dana he used to be a school teacher at Godwin.
And his wife still teaches here at New Horizon.
Right, she does. His wife's a teacher here. I think his daughter graduated or is getting ready to graduate from here. I think she has graduated from
She
here.
graduated last
He
year.
graduated in 2017 with my daughter.
Yeah.
They're a good family.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time, but matter of fact, I built his house
Oh.
out in Buffalo Trail. I've known him for a number of years. I don't know when he got into this, but I know he was in it when we started looking for somebody. And he did a good job. It was just a matter of trying to save a little bit of money. I think we've recovered from that, and it just looked a lot better when he did it. And they took care of it a lot better than what it has been now.
So these kind of contracts, are they periodically come up for bid or how does?
We don't typically
contracts like
bid this one because it doesn't reach that amount. And we did send a bid to him when we bid the right of way, 917 and 174 that we mow. He didn't have the equipment or the people to take that on, and he didn't really want the responsibility of mowing those medians. And he wasn't set up for that, but he's more of a finish mower. Now that guy does a good job. They pick up trash and they mow with 0 turns. Most of those guys just mowed with back lanes, but we're fortunate. We got a guy that we're the only thing he mows. And so we get a good job and we get a great deal.
Okay, well, that's just it. The only reason I asked about that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what's a good deal or not. Start talking, you know.
Yeah, it didn't rise. There's a $50,000 threshold that we have to bid. This doesn't cover it.
All right. Anybody else have any more questions, comments about that, or take a motion?
I don't have any questions.
I don't have any.
Me neither.
Well, then I can make a motion to approve it.
And I make, I second.
No pressure.
I didn't know if the train was on my side or your side. It hasn't gotten here yet.
All right, show of hands. All right, pay the man. All right.
I have one other thing for you guys.
Okay.
That it just happened in the last few days, but the contract for the hooded left has been awarded and squared away. We've done the pre-construction meeting. They're geared up to start the end of this month. They're going to do 2 phases. They're going to do the right deceleration lane first, which is the southbound lane, which allows people to turn directly into the Starbucks parking. And then once they finish that, they'll move to the hooded left on the northbound side of the road, and they'll do that in phase 2.
Okay,
And they expect to have it all finished by June-ish, in there somewhere. June,
so is
July.
that a deceleration lane gonna be then before where we have the monument sign, you turn into Joshua Station? Or is it
It'll be just past it.
Just as soon as you get past it?
As soon as you pass it, you'll kind of start moving into it.
Okay, so people turning right out of Joshua Station, it's gonna be their acceleration.
Could very well turn, well, yeah, could be,
Okay.
unless they're going to get coffee. Well, they can exit from Joshua Station Boulevard too, so I guess they wouldn't have any need to. But yes, that the answer to the question is
You get a
yes.
little iffy there, but we need something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and that, just refresh our memories as to costs and when we'll incur those.
That's all part of the budget for the $550,000 was set aside for it in the original plan. The bids exceeded that amount, but we believe they're going to be offset with savings from the park that they're building with Mountain Air Boulevard, because we're not moving that gas line, and those funds were included in there. So we actually think it's going to come out close to a wash. If it's not, then we'll take that up at mid-year, but it doesn't. I think the way that Mountain Air is being done, and we've run into a couple of issues that were expensive that we found better alternate solutions for, that didn't involve moving water lines and sewer lines and not moving those gas lines. And those are going to be some pretty significant savings. So I think at the end of the year, it's going to be close to a wash.
Okay. I don't know about this Mountain Air Park going on.
Mountain Air is the park that the developer is doing that will allow access into Panda. They're going to bring Plum Street across. I say Mountain Air. It was Mountain Air. It's a private drive when that mobile home park was there. And the city purchased it about 12, 13 years ago. And then we shut down the mobile home park, and they're going to extend Plum Street across onto that
I've seen
property that
work.
y'all own. And then that drive will come across and then turn to the right and go behind where all the utilities are gonna be, behind all those developments, between the apartments and the restaurants.
Yeah, and we're incurring costs to do that.
Yeah, you're gonna complete that leg and the developer's doing it on their end.
Okay,
So
so,
we didn't actually bid that part, they did. What we've done is the Tex dot section. Tex dot can't contract with them, they had a contract with us, so we've got the agreement with Tex dot for the hooded left.
so you're calling that little extension of street, you're calling
Plum
that Mount
Street.
Air?
The council has renamed it to Plum Street and dedicated the right of way, so it will officially be a roadway once it's put in.
Okay, but you were calling it Mountain Air.
Yeah, that's what it initially was.
All right, well, item G, future agenda item requests by directors to be on the next agenda. Anybody have any?
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything.
I don't have.
So, all right, well, nobody else, any more comments or questions? And this was a quick one. It's 6:51. I adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
Linda Linda Childers,
Yes,
are you ready to talk about speed humps?
sure.
All right, I'll give you a call next day or two since we've survived snowvid and COVID.
Okay,
I'll give you a buzz and see what y'all want to do.
okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you all.
night.